is going to be. He gets away from one tackle. Lefty's still running. Cuts back up. Lefty's still on his feet. Lefty's still on his feet. He's down the sideline. He's headed for pay dirt. Touchdown, Dragons!
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again, and welcome to the 2019 Senior Night here at York Institute. At this time, we would like to recognize the following students for their hard work and dedication to the York Athletics for the past 4 years. First off tonight, McKinley Waters. McKinley is the daughter of TJ and Michelle Waters. Also with us tonight, Carly Brown. Carly is the daughter of Sharon and Shelley Crockett and Loyal Brown. She is being escorted tonight by her mother and stepdad, Shelley and Sharon Crockett. Also tonight, Kinsey Brown. Kinsey is the daughter of Sharon and Shelley Crockett and Laura Brown. She is being escorted tonight by her father, Laura Brown. Also with us tonight is our 2019 football players. Zach Lohr. Zach is the son of Rob and Julie Lohr. Also tonight, Johan West. Johan is the son of Kevin and Sue West. Also tonight, Thomas Miller. Thomas is the son of Cliff and Rhonda Miller. Also tonight, Jonathan Walker. Jonathan is the son of Kenny and Patricia Walker. Also tonight, Zach Holdren. Zach is the son of Donovan and Tracy Wright. Also tonight, Bailey Hahn. Bailey is the son of Arthur Walker. Also tonight, Kellen Buck. Kellen is the son of Chip and Larissa Buck. Also with us tonight, Landon Martin. Landon is the son of Michelle Martin and Jamie Ipock. Also tonight, Edward Stockton. Edward is the son of Wade and Amy Stockton. Also tonight, Alex Crownover. Alex is the son of Bruce and Dana Crownover. Also tonight, Zach Strong. Zach is the son of Malcolm and Velma Strong. Zach was chosen as the 2019 co-captain of the Dragon football team. And also with us tonight, Aaron Tallett. Aaron is the son of Richard and Lynn Tallett. Aaron was chosen as the 2019 captain of the Dragon football team. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together, make some noise for the young men and women and their parents for their dedication to York Institute.
With about 1:06 to go in the game in that one, so that was the winning score in that one, Gary. But no Cole Cooper this year, and York pretty depleted as far as players, period.
Yeah, you know, they're going to have at least 5 players out tonight, and, you know, 4 of those with injury. Ben Cooper, you know, obviously from what happened last week. So, those are some big losses for York.
And, of course, last year, these two teams, York had 22 first downs to Livingston's 11. And York, 16 rushes, 5 passes, while Livingston had 4 rushes and 6 passing first downs. Now, rushing York was 352 yards, Livingston 88, but passing York 73, Livingston 255. So that's the polar opposite as well. Livingston likes to throw the ball. York likes to go 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, they do. And, you know, the thing that made York good the past few years, Gary, is they could threaten the pass a little bit. And they, you know, right now the wing T, they had 3 or 4, even 4 backs, you know, that could carry the ball. And this year it's not hardly the case, you know, that depth's not there, and the ability to get through the hole and get positive yardage is not there as well.
And back here where we have some rain in this rain, we'll talk about that and how that helps who as we get that coming up here in just a moment. We'll decide who that actually favors, but we'll see coming up here in just a moment. Right now, though, let's take another word from Progressive Savings Bank, and we'll be back with the scoreboard right after this.
It's football time on the mountain. At Progressive Savings Bank, we know running your small business is a lot like coaching a team. You call the plays that drive your business towards success, and we're your #1 fan. After all, you provide the products, the services, and jobs that keep our local economy moving forward. We partner with small businesses to help you reach your financial goals with free business checking and flexible financing to help operate and grow your business with the right financial equipment to keep you in the game. This is Mark Justice wishing our York Dragons a successful football season. We are proud once again to sponsor Dragon First Downs. Progressive Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, let's take a look at last week's action. Pickett County, Livingston, Joe Burns, Monterey, and Red Bull and Springs all had the week off. Smith County crushed Cannon County in a Region 3A matchup, 51-14. Upperman also rolled over Grundy County 41-0. Watertown hammered Jackson County 42-8. Meigs County over Oneida 24-3. Grace Christian blew past Trinity Academy 47-20. White County edged Clay County 21-18. Oliver Springs blanked Oakdale 45-0. Midway crushed Sunbright 50-26. Fayetteville over Gordonsville 30-17. It was Eagleville dropping Summertown 13-7. Sail Creek crushed Lookout Valley 55-6. Red Bank roll over Brainerd 40-6, and Loudon blank Sweetwater 37-0. Coming up this week, Pickett County's at Red Bull and Springs. Cannon County and Red Bank have the night off. Smith County hosts Stone. Upperman's hosting Watertown in a battle of top 10 teams in that one. It'll be Jackson County at Trousdale County. Oneida's at Coalfield. White County hosts Macon County. Grace Christian hosts CAK. Joe Burns hosts Gordonsville. Monterey's hosting Clay County. Oakdale's at Harriman. Eagleville travels to Mount Pleasant. Sales Creek will welcome South Pitt. Rockville is going to be at Cookeville. Loudon will travel to Walker Valley. Bledsoe County's at Cumberland County. And Coalfield travels to Oliver Springs.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do is true. We do for you.
And back here at York Institute, we're getting set for the national anthem here in just a moment. We'll thank our sponsors for our live broadcast. Fentress County Executive Jimmy Johnson, State Representative John Mark Wendell, Hall's Family Pharmacy, and Hall Sports and Outdoors, First Volunteer Bank, Gary Maxwell Insurance, Fentress Farmers Co-op, McDonald's of Jamestown, Methrift Pharmacy, Conditioned Heating and Cooling, Twin Lakes, and the Pizza Hut, our sponsors for our live broadcast. And while we got a break here, while they're doing the national anthem, we can't pick it up here, so we'll take a break from our Game Time sponsors and be right back.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435. A proud supporter of sports and education in our area. Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
Fentress Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Fentress Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer, to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Fentress Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
And back here with the national anthem just sung. And Gary, we take a look at this game here tonight. Of course, York's got, it looks like Thomas Miller was back. We saw him out there warming up at the pre-game. Now, last year against Livingston, he rushed 20 times for 133 yards, averaged 8 yards a carry. He caught one pass for 24 yards. And, of course, Ben Cooper, who's not playing tonight because of suspension due to being ejected from last week's game, he was 10 rushes for 44 yards and a 4.1 average. So that's going to be tough for the Dragons, to get that kind of rushing tonight. They're going to have Cooper. We'll have to see, most likely Eli Kirby and maybe Eli Kirby and Ethan Thompson are going to be or Evan Thompson.
Well, you'll see even Evan Tompkins, and you'll see. I think you'll see Zach Gibson some, and you'll see Johan probably back there in one of the wings. And they got to have games out of those guys if they're going to stay in this. And they're going to win a game. Thomas being back will be a big plus for them. He'll be a speed guy, and he can help the run game a little bit. You talked about Thomas being back. They also get Ricky Clark back tonight too, and he back from the suspension from the Upperman game. But they are without Zach Holdren, Nathaniel Castellon, Caden Stover, of course, Ben Cooper, Aaron Talent, all going to be out tonight.
So that's going to be tough for them to fill. And we mentioned the scoreboard earlier of some of the games that we mentioned tonight were actually played last night. Cookville beat Rockville 56-14. Sequatchie shut out Grundy County, so Grundy County's out of the playoff picture. Upperman beat Watertown at 21-20 in a game that was a thriller, to say the least. And Loudon rolled over Walker Valley last night 49-7. We mentioned that because should York win next week, it could possibly go to Loudon. We'll just have to see how that shakes out because they got a big game. But York's going to receive to start this one, Gary, and it looks like I think Livingston won the toss.
I believe they did. And deferred. York decides to receive, and so Livingston will kick it off to York, and we're going to get ready to play here in a couple of minutes, Gary. And it's a big game. Livingston coming in here undefeated. How great would it be to put a blemish on the record of them tonight? York going to have to play great football in order to do that.
And of course, Livingston trying to stay undefeated, but Gary, York just needing to get some momentum headed into next week's game. Next week's game's do or die if you want to make the playoffs. They've got to beat Cannon County to make the playoffs. Whoever wins that one is in because both teams have a district win, and to be in, you've got to get at least two.
Yeah, you do, and it is the game, that a lot riding on it next week, it's for a playoff berth down in Cannon County next week.
And also we want to remind everybody that the York Lady Dragons soccer team, they lost last night 4-1 to Merrill Hyde, but they are going on the road tomorrow to sectionals. They will be at Baylor High School at 3:30. They're going to take on Signal Mountain at Baylor High School. So if you get a chance, go down and support the York Lady Dragons. Gary, the farthest they've been in their team's history.
They played a good Merrill Hyde team last night that has had a great season, and stayed in the match with them, come up short, but it'll be a tough challenge to go down to Chattanooga and play Signal Mountain. We were there for a home football playoff game for them last year, and they have banners that go all the way around that football field for track and field, tennis, and soccer.
Yeah, they're a good soccer program, and the York Lady Dragons don't play them very well, so go Lady Dragons. We need a big win down there. And kicking off for the guys from Livingston Academy will be T. Beatty. Gary, the rain, who do you think it favors as far as this wet field conditions and the rain falling?
Well, you think it would favor York, Gary, just strictly because they're a running team and this is a running atmosphere. And there was an old saying: if you can grip it, you can throw it. And if Livingston's quarterback Will McDonald can grip it, he can throw it. And they're going to try to do a lot of that, I'm sure.
I watched several of their videos of their games, and they have had some big throwing games this year. Now the first kick's going to go in the end zone, and it's going to be a touchback. And, Gary, that means York gets it at their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, they do. So, York going to take over 1st and 10 here, and so the kick looked like it might squirm out of bounds, Gary. Instead rolls into the end zone for the touchback.
So we'll see what York does here. And Gary, we've seen them working 3 different quarterbacks before in warm-ups. We'll see who comes out. Most likely it's going to be
it looks like it's Isaiah Strong going to take the first snap, Gary. Barger is lined up in the at the wing over here on the right.
So it will be under center Strong takes it over the left side, and that's not going to get much out of that, Gary. If he got any, y'all may have lost some yardage.
Kind of hard to tell from where they signaled it, but he did. He lost a lot of yards. Lost almost 5 yards on that one, Gary. So going to be 2nd and 15.
So 2nd and long now for the Dragons as they go steadily backwards.
He decided to keep that around the left end and nothing doing. Livingston there to shut it down right away.
And so up will come the Dragons now, 2nd and 15. Long distance as they got a man in motion. They'll hand it off over to the left side, and that's stopped again. Gary, that's another loss of yardage as that time.
That was Strong as well.
Strong again. Strong's kept it on the first two, Gary, and lost yardage on both of them.
Yeah, that's all the way back to the 16-yard line now, Gary. So it is 3rd and a long way.
And we see Miller coming in.
16-yard line, so it's 3rd and 17.
Miller's come in, Gary. It's the first time we've seen him since I think it was back in the Grace Christian game.
Yeah, and he has missed 3 or 4 games here, so good to see him back in the lineup, Gary.
And Strong's going to hand it off to him. I know he's going to throw. He's got the man out there, but that's going to be incomplete. Just at about the first down marker, Gary, but the receiver a little bit deeper than that on that one.
Yeah, that was intended for
Gibson.
Zach Gibson, and Gibson had to try to come back to the ball, slipped. He had the man beat, had a couple of steps on him, throw just a little bit underthrown.
And so now going back will be Miller. Miller going to punt it out of his own end zone, right at the goal line. Miller back deep. Snaps high, but he'll come up with it, and he gets the punt off. Not a great punt, but it's going to hit, and it's going to take a roll all the way to the 49-yard line, picked up there by Livingston Academy's number 16, and he'll bring it back up to the 39-yard line, and that was Raven Carpenter on the return.
Yeah, I'm not sure that punt wouldn't tip, Gary. There was, because of the high snap, there was some pressure, and he didn't get all of it, but I think he got a piece of it, and, kind of died out there, and Carpenter able to pick it up, make the first guy miss, and turn it up the field, and got a decent return out of it.
Great field position start for Livingston Academy, as we'll see Will McDonald bring his unit up. He's got one man in the backfield. That is Gonzalez, as he is setting in the pistol. Now he's got 2 to the left, 1 to the right. As McDonald calling out the signals. McDonald gets a snap. He's going to hand it off up the middle to number 23. And not Gonzalez is number 23. That is Curtis Johnson. And Curtis Johnson gets only a couple of yards, Gary. Good D by the Dragons.
Yeah, good. They tried to run that off the left side, Gary, and just not much doing with that. And I got a couple on it, so it's 2nd and 8.
So now up will come Livingston Academy. McDonald back in the shotgun. He's got back in the backfield. Still with him back there is Carwile, I believe. No. Is that number 23 or number 24?
I still haven't got his number. I thought it might be 22, Caleb Robinson, but I'm not positive. We'll see here when he...
Yeah, it is Robinson. And now McDonald trying to break outside. McDonald's going to cut back inside, drop by Strong before he gets to the 40, so he's going to be short of the first down. But, Gary, that time we saw McDonald slip a little bit as he tried to drop back and throw the ball.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that tells us all we want to know about field condition, Gary. He tried to make a little bit of a cut and almost fell and kept his balance, got another yard or 2 out of it. But this will make it, it's a big 3rd down. It's 3rd and 3 from the 33-yard line.
And, of course, probably 2 down territory here for Livingston. You can tell on that punt, Gary, that it was really wet condition because the ball didn't bounce. It just skidded. When it hit the field, it just skidded. Didn't even take a bounce. It just looked like it was sliding on ice. Looked like a Predator puck at that point.
Directional punting might be a good thing tonight, Gary, especially if you can kick low-line drives that makes it scoot across this field.
So now up will come McDonald. He's got one man in the backfield. He's going to hand it to him. That's number 22. Robinson gets up. He's going to have the first down, and Moore picks up about 8 on the carry, Gary.
Yeah, he got down to about the 25-yard line, and that was just a good run, Gary. They're 3 and 4 wide, and they had 3 wides and looked like a tight end on that play. And they just kicked in on the right side of the line. Both their guard and their tackle just kicked the York defenders in and left a huge running lane for Robinson. Got about 8 yards. Actually got 11 on that. That's marked all the way down to the 22-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now for Livingston Academy at the 22. The yard marker is going to be hard to see tonight, folks, because most of them have washed out. As in the shot or in the pistol will go McDonald. McDonald takes the snap. He's going to hand off to Robinson. Robinson over the left side this time gets around the first guy. It's going to be dropped at about the 18-yard line. And Gary, you can tell Livingston coming out with a completely different game plan than what we've seen in the first 8 games they played this season.
Yeah, I mean, they've kept the ball on the ground for the most part. You know, really hadn't attempted a pass yet. Dropped back once, and the quarterback, had scrambled, kept it and run, but, got 5 yards on that run, and they're running the ball successfully right now.
Yeah, they look to be just inside the 15-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and a nickel for the Wildcats as back in the pistol goes the quarterback McDonald. He's got in the backfield a new back now. Number 6 is in the backfield. That is Neely. And he fakes it. He's going to keep it as he takes it over the right side. He's going to get inside the 10, down inside the 5, and going to be enough for a first down, Gary, as that time he was a quarterback keeper pretty much all the way.
It was, and they marked him about the 8-yard line, Gary, 9-yard line actually, and it'll be 1st and goal, Livingston, though, and that was a design quarterback keeper the whole way. He dropped back like he was going to throw, but immediately took off and ran, had a good hole over the right side.
And York's going to take a timeout as it's 1st and goal when we come back for Livingston Academy. We are 7:02 left to go in the first quarter in a scoreless ball game.
These two musicians play the same instrument. One is a rock. The other is more romantic. They may sound nothing alike, but they're in total harmony when it comes to breakfast at McDonald's. Whether you play hot licks or can't play a lick, together we breakfast. Choose a new Buttermilk Crispy Chicken McGriddles, Buttermilk Crispy Chicken Biscuit, or Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit, and get any two for $4. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Well, Gary, Livingston Academy, a different look from what we expected. Of course, with these nations, probably a pretty good idea to be able to run the ball, and they're doing it effectively.
They are, they've kept it on the ground. They've moved it down, and, they're 1st and goal from the 9 right now. Primarily, all their yardage has been on the ground so far.
McDonald back in the pistol. He's got Neely behind him. McDonald got 2 split out wide to the left, 1 to the right as he takes the snap. He's going to hand off to Neely. Neely right up the middle, cuts back inside. Neely's going to be lifted up as he fights for yardage. He's going to be very close in for the touchdown. Neely's in with a 9-yard run, and Livingston Academy takes the early lead, Gary.
That was a little bit of a slow developing play, Gary, but, he busted through the line and then broke a couple of tackles. Then York tried to lift him up to keep him out of the end zone. He managed to fall forward, though, across the goal line for the touchdown.
And, Gary, they've got a great kicker in T. Beatty. As Beatty, you were talking about it before the game, he was hitting some long kicks.
He kicked a 40-yarder in pregame that would have been good from 50-plus, Gary.
So he'll kick the extra point here. High snaps, kicks down. The kick is up. The kick is good, and Livingston Academy draws first blood. We've got 6:52 to go in the first. It's 7-0 L.A.
Medicare Part D open enrollment starts October 15th and runs through December 7th. Hall Family Pharmacy would like to remind you that everyone should get their plans reviewed this year, and using an independent pharmacy like Hall Family Pharmacy can help you get a cheaper plan, so you will be saving money and shopping local. With Hall Family Pharmacy, you can lower your copays, speak directly to a pharmacist, and choose the best coverage for you. Make an appointment today, or walk-ins are welcome Monday through Saturday. Call Hall Family Pharmacy for more details at 879-9997.
And don't forget Hall's new winter hours, Monday through Friday, 8 till 7, Saturday, 8 till 4.
Well, Gary, looking at Livingston's attack in this first drive, how much do you think they're changing what their normal game plan is? I'm sure York worked on the pass all week long, and it's been nothing but runs to start this ball game.
It has, Gary. You know, they have they ran it for every yard there, and York will have to make a couple adjustments, I'm sure, and probably mean a little more man coverage on the receivers to, you know, you about have to make them throw the ball.
And Beatty's going to drill that one. It's going to die on the 1 yard line, so York will have to bring it out. And coming back with it in a good return up to about the 20 yard line, and that I believe was White Hawks.
It was White Hawks. That ball, he's hoping that one would skid into the end zone also, Gary, but it didn't. It just died, and you know, and he picked it up, made the first guy miss, and was able to turn that up the field into a good return out to the 17 yard line.
Yeah, that could have been really a bad situation for the Dragons, as the Dragons will come up, and it looks like Strong back under quarterback, or back in at quarterback, Gary. They've got Barger over here to the right.
Yeah, Barger's playing the right halfback, Gibson playing the left halfback.
And the handoff's going to go over the middle, straight up ahead from the fullback.
I believe that was Eli Kirby. I'm not positive,
Yeah,
though.
I believe Kirby is usually the backup. Going to be 36, I believe that is.
Yeah,
Eli.
that is Eli. Eli on the carry got a couple of yards out of that.
Eli just banging straight ahead on it, gets a couple, but York needs to get some kind of movement. They haven't been able to move the ball at all, as back under center goes Strong. Different look for the Dragons with Strong under there. Now they got Barger in motion. They're going to hand it off this time over the right side to Gibson, and Gibson going to be tripped up.
Gibson with a decent run, though, got about 5 yards out of that, Gary, 4 to 5, and makes this a kind of a manageable third down.
Actually, I believe that was Miller on the carry, Gary. That was number 16 on the carry, Miller.
Yeah, it was Miller. Sorry, yeah, it wasn't Gibson, it was Miller.
We're just not used to having Miller in there, I guess.
He got 6 yards out of that, so it makes it 3rd and 3.
Third manageable, as up will come Strong under center. Strong looking to get somebody in motion, does. He's going to give it to second man through, and that's over the right side again. He's going to be close to a first down.
That was Miller again. I believe he does have the first down.
Yeah, I think they're going to move it.
Yeah, he got about 4 or 5 yards. He got about 4 out of that, so first down Dragons.
So 1st and 10 for York. We're under the 5.5-minute mark in this first quarter, and it's a 7-0 Livingston Academy lead. As York trying to just that's what the wing tee's designed, Gary. Move the ball, get you chunks of yardage at a time, get your first downs, and keep those chains moving.
It is. That's what it is. And I've noticed they brought in, and they're bringing everybody in at tailback, and got Ben Hall in there. And Ben doesn't look like your fullback.
And now York's going to jump on this one, as it looks like Miller split, or actually Tolman over here on the right side jumped early. But Livingston actually jumped first, but I don't know if they got into the
I don't think they
zone.
did.
No, they didn't. It's going to be a false start.
No, actually, Tolman, he got their own snap count or something, Gary. He took off. He made a couple of steps. So, you know, it was a false start against York, and that'll make it 1st and 15 from the 23.
So the Dragons once again getting a penalty. That was a killer last week, Gary. They got some penalties, some of the worst penalties at the worst possible times last week. They can't do that this week. As Strong under center takes snap, hands it off up the middle, and that's going to go for about 2 yards. And driven back was number 27 for the Dragons.
That's Ben Hall on the carry, getting a couple out of that. So
freshman Ben Hall.
Not much running up the middle.
We saw Ben play last year in Crush. Kid's going to be a great football player, but he's a little undersized for fullback in high school.
Actually, he got about 4 yards on that, Gary, so it'll make it 2nd and 11 from the 27-yard line.
So up will come the Dragons. Need to keep this drive alive. Trailing 7-0 early in this one. Strong under center. They got Miller in motion. They're going to get off Miller over the left side, and he's going to be tripped up. And Gary, he kind of run over his own man on that one.
Yeah, the block wasn't set up on the corner there. He tried to turn it up around the right tackle, Gary, and had the lead blocker there, and Eli Kirby, and it just didn't develop. So it's going to be 3rd and long.
3rd and about 11 for the Dragons, as they will come up with 3:35 left to go here in the first quarter, trailing 7-0. Dragons needing something here. They're kind of off to a slow start. Don't want to have to punt down this end of your end of the field anyway. As Strong trying to get a man in motion does. He gives it off to Miller again, and Gary, they read that one from the word going. I believe the ball come out.
It was fumbled. I believe the official threw his beanbag, and they're going to sort it out here. Livingston's holding the ball up.
So we'll see. Did Livingston? And that's one of this wet condition. It is going to be first down Livingston. So York with the first turnover. And Gary, that's another part of this rainy field. It's going to be who hangs on to the football. And right now York didn't.
No, they didn't, Gary. And Miller trying to run over this right side once again and fumbled the football, recovered by Livingston. That was recovered by number 68, Cole Spears. And Livingston going to take over 1st and 10 at the York 24.
So back in the pistol, we'll go McDonald. McDonald's got behind him Robinson. And Livingston has not thrown the ball yet. That's something we really expected a lot of, but with this rain, they've been on the run the ball, and they give it off to Robinson again. And this time Robinson going to get a yard or two.
He didn't get much out of that one, Gary. There's 3 or 4 York shirts there led by Isaiah Strong, kind of held him up, and then Evan Tompkins and Eli Kirby, and there's another shirt in there come in and help clean that up.
So it's going to be second, and they say he got about a yard, so he's going to be 2nd and 9. Actually, not quite a yard, maybe a half a yard on it. So it's going to be 2nd and long with 2:45 left to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Livingston lead. Livingston with the football. Back in the pistol goes McDonald. He's got Robinson in the backfield.
That was a good first down defense by York. They need another play here on 2nd down to get the 3rd and long, Gary.
McDonald now calling out the signal. Takes a snap. This time he's going to go the quick out, and that's going to be dropped. Incomplete.
That was on the money. Just dropped by the receiver. The receiver looked to turn up field before he actually caught the ball. Had pulled it in and trying to get his number. He ran. Actually, it's number 11. That's Wesley Smith. He had it right in his hands. Just dropped it, Gary.
And, of course, that you attributed some of that to the wet conditions as well. But I'm like you, it looked like he looked run before he looked catch.
He was turned all the way up the field, and, he didn't look it in and dropped it.
And so McDonald stepped back in the shotgun now. He's got Robinson in the backfield. And McDonald gets the snap, hands it off to Robinson up the middle, and he is hit immediately. Good job by Zach Gibson to come up and lay a stick on him, Gary.
Yeah, that was a good job, and if he didn't get him down, Evan Tompkins was there to clean it up. But a great open field tackle by Zach Gibson, and that'll make it 4th and 9.
So now it's going to be 4th and 9 now for the Livingston Academy Wildcats. And Gary, this position, you possibly could see a field goal from Livingston, but with these wet conditions, I'm pretty sure they're going to probably try to run a play here.
It'd be about a 40-yarder, Gary. So that it looked like he had plenty of leg to make that, but they're electing to go for it here.
Dry conditions, he probably would have went for it. As McDonald back in the pistol. Waiting on the snap, got 2 to the right, 1 to the left, takes the snap, and he hands it off to Robinson. Robinson up the middle. Robinson's got some running room. He's still on his feet, and Robinson, here's to you, Mr. Robinson. He's in the end zone for a touchdown, Livingston.
Yeah, they faked like they were going to pass in the middle of the field, just opened wide open, and they did a delayed handoff to Robinson. He breaks a couple of tackles and gets in the end zone, Gary.
So Robinson scores with $1:19 left to go here in the first quarter. It's now a 13-0 Livingston lead as T. Beatty will come in to try to tack on the extra point as the Dragons right now, Gary, find themselves in the hole early. And in these weather conditions, that's not a good thing.
No, it's not. You're going to be down 2 scores early here and not moving much on offense either.
And the kick is up. The kick is good as Livingston Academy with $1:19 left to go here in the first quarter takes a 14-zip lead on the Dragons.
Twin Lakes is building a fiber broadband network that gives you the connection you need to experience the gig difference. You deserve to stream without buffering, stay connected, or run a business with speed and reliability. With Twin Lakes fiber broadband, you'll have access to speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber, you'll also have reliable voice solutions, robust TV services, and security and smart control systems for your home or business. Work fast, play hard with fiber from Twin Lakes. Learn more by visiting us online at www.twinlakes.net. Some restrictions apply. Speeds not available in all areas.
Well, Gary, Livingston Academy's had the ball twice, scored twice, and they've done it on the ground.
They have, Gary, and short field that time, taking over at the York 24-yard line on the turnover and cashing that in 4 plays, getting to the end zone and converting that 4th and 9 for the touchdown.
So Livingston on top early in this one, 14-0. York need to get something. York could use a big kickoff return here.
Yeah, they could actually. And they have White Hawks over here on the left side, or it'd be the right side. Looks like Thomas Miller on the other side over there. So York needs to catch this ball in the air and try to get a return.
And there was a kick going to be picked up by Hawks, and Hawks going to bring it on the run. He's got some running room. He gets up to about the 30 before he's dropped. And, Gary, that's just a good hard running by White.
Yeah, he did. Saw a little bit of a seam, tried to take it. Livingston able to close up the hole, make the tackle, but not before he gets it out to about the 31-yard line.
We got 1:12 left to go here in quarter number 1. It's been Livingston on top of this one. It's been all Livingston this first quarter. Gary, York got 1 first down in this first quarter, but they went 3 and out on the first one. They got 1 first down in the second, their second series.
Yeah, they did, and it's still Isaiah Strong going to be at the quarterback position. He's got Miller and Dalton Barger.
He's going to hand off to Barger on the left side. Barger trying to cut back inside, and Barger is going to be wrapped up, Gary. Livingston Academy's got this scouted very well.
Yeah, they do, and it's that Cole Sears guy again making that tackle about body slamming Barger, and that's going to get a couple of yards. Looks like, Gary.
So give them a couple of yards. Going to be 2nd and 8 now for the Dragons as Strong comes over and gets the signal, and the Dragons have probably one more play here in the first quarter. We're down to 40 ticks left to go here in the first quarter. On top, Livingston Academy 14-0 in this one. Going under center will be Strong. Got a man in motion. He's going to take a snap, give it off to Miller, and Gary, they wrap Miller up as quick as he gets it.
Yeah, they do, and not much running there. No gain.
Actually, that was Gibson on the carry that time.
Yeah, it was Gibson, and no gain really, Gary. So that's going to end the quarter as well.
That's going to do it for the first quarter. We're at the end of 1. It's Livingston Academy on top of York, 14-0. Back in 60 seconds.
The Gary Maxwell Insurance Office offering area insurance is located at 300 West Central Avenue in Jamestown. Get a free quote for your home, auto, life, or business with no obligation to buy. Call 879-1251. Shane Beatty, Katie Cooper, Tammy Robbins, and Brad Rains agents, along with Jeff Robbins, manager, will be happy to assist you. That's Gary Maxwell Insurance, located 300 West Central Avenue with locations in Livingston, Cookeville, and Gainesboro.
Crisp air, cool breeze, fall leaves, all the things autumn brings. It also brings Carrier's Fall Cool Cash Rebate Promotion. Now until December 15th, take advantage of discounts on select energy-efficient heating and air conditioning units. With financing options to fit any budget, you'll be ready to jump into fall and tackle any weather that comes your way. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Condition Heating and Cooling for your free estimate today.
Conditioned heating and cooling.
Back here where York, Gary, has the football. They got a 3rd down and 7. York's got to get something going. This game's going to get out of hand. It'll be over with quicker than a Yankees World Series dream.
Yeah, it will, Gary. It's a 3rd down and 7 here, a big 3rd down for York. And, York got to get something going offensively. 10 carries for 8 yards in that first quarter. That's, you're not going to do much with that.
You're not going to beat many teams with that yardage. So here comes the Dragons. He'll take the snap, rolling out. He is strong. He's getting a big rush, and he's just going to throw it. And that is going to be probably, if they don't get they call it an incomplete pass, but Gary, that is going to be intentional grounding right there.
Well, I don't know if they're going to call it, but
I think I seen a flag on the field.
Yeah, they did call it. It was obviously intentional grounding. I mean, he didn't throw it back to the line of scrimmage, and so it'll be intentional grounding, and that'll be placed at the spot he threw it from. And
a loss of down as well.
It'll be 4th down. That moves it all the way back to about the 17-yard line, Gary. So that's a loss of 16.
Yeah, York backing up like the French Army right now, as it's going to be 4th and about probably Pine Haven, or may have to get to Albany, Kentucky to get the first down there.
4th and 23, and Miller's on the punt.
And it's going to be at about the 45-yard line. The return man sitting at the 45. Man, Miller drops the punt, and he's going to be dropped right there as he dropped the snap, and it's going to be 1st and goal for Livingston Academy at the 1.
Yeah, Cole Sears again. That guy's wrecking havoc on York's offensive line right now. And that time on the the punt line, he busted through once the snap was dropped, and he had Miller wrapped up, nowhere to go. So
that snap hit him in the worst possible place, evidently the hands, as he dropped it right at the about the 3-yard line, and he was hammered there. And so now Livingston Academy with a 1st and goal. And Gary, this one, at the rate this one's going, it's going to be over quicker than a Miley Cyrus marriage. And if York can't get something rolling here, they got to get a stop here. McDonald back in the pistol. And Livingston looking to take advantage of the second turnover of the night. They'll throw in the corner, and that one's going to be incomplete. Good job out there by the Dragons. I didn't see the number that was on the play, Gary, but he come up and made a big play at the end to bat it away.
Yeah, that was intended for Wesley Smith, Gary, and it was Jonah Durham on the coverage, and a nice pass breakup for him. It looked like he had maybe a half a step there and on Durham, but Durham able to make that up and make the play.
So now McDonald's got Robinson in the backfield. Robinson already has 1 touchdown. As the snap, they'll give it to Robinson. And Robinson going to be hit, bounces off that one, still on his feet, dives forward, and he's in for the touchdown. Robinson with the touchdown, and Gary, he was almost down back here, but able to just lunge forward and get in the end zone.
Yeah, Zach Gibson had a chance, dove at him, grabbed him by the ankle, but he is able to fall forward into the end zone for the touchdown. And, that's a short field, and, York tried to hold them up there, just couldn't do it, and it's 20-0.
So Livingston Academy now with a 20-0 lead, looking to tack on the extra point. As T. Beatty will line it up. We've got 11:32 to go here in the second quarter. And the snap is down. The kick is up. The kick is good. So with 11:32 to go here in quarter number 2, it's now 21-0 Livingston Academy. Well, Gary, Livingston Academy out to a 3-score lead, and they're looking every bit of that number 7 ranking right now.
They are. York just gave them a couple of short fields, Gary, and you just can't do that with a good football team, and they've cashed both of those in, even converting a 4th and 9. York got to get a good kickoff return here, and they've got to sustain a drive, Gary. You got to be able to. I'm sure Coach Wright's got a couple of wrinkles here. You're going to have to pull out a couple of those, try to move the football down the field a little bit.
And they're going to have to hang on to the football, too. That's they've already had 2 turnovers.
We're playing this whole game on York's side of the field right now, and he's got to do something to revert to flip the field position at least.
And that's a good kick by Beatty. It's going to be taken right at about the 7-yard line. Up will come Miller still on his feet. Miller breaks the outside. He's got some running room. He gets all the way to 45-yard line, and Gary, that's what the doctor ordered.
Nice kickoff return. Broke a tackle and was able to bounce that out a little bit, Gary, up the right sideline, up to the 44-yard line, and that's where York will take over. And it's the opportunity to play on Livingston's side of the field a little bit here, and York got to take advantage of that. Got to capitalize on this.
York's got their first down close to midfield, so they're going to be as close as they've been to midfield so far this game. As up will come the Dragons with 1st and 10, and is it still Strong? I didn't see the quarterback. I think Strong's still at quarterback under center.
I believe it is, Gary.
Got a man in motion. They'll hand it off to the big fullback up the middle, and that's going to bang ahead for a couple of yards, and that's going to be Kirby. And Kirby, Gary, just running hard up the middle.
Yeah, he is. And
actually, that's Connor Warden, number 36, the freshman.
Yeah, that was Connor Warden, the other freshman on the carry, and a nice hard run by him. Gets about 3 yards, moves it out to about the 47-yard line, Gary, where it'll be 2nd and 7.
He's another one of those players we saw play crush football last year and was an excellent player. He's going to be a good player for the Dragons as well. We've done a lot of their games last couple of years, and I think Ben Hall's in there in the backfield now. They're going to fake and hand off to Ben up the middle, and Ben runs hard, gets up to about midfield, so hard running by the freshman, Gary.
Yeah, he's probably the smallest fullback York's had in some time out of the swing tee, but runs hard, ran it right up the middle, got another, about 3.5 yards, and moves it right out to midfield, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
Well, we called him Ben's Hall of Pain last year because for a kid in junior high school, he would run over people. He didn't shy away from it either. He was one of those kids that looked for contact, and that's what you want in a fullback.
Yeah, I mean, he lines up and it's full speed ahead, Gary, and, got about 3.5 yards on that one. York in a 3rd down, you almost got to think it's 4-down territory for York right now.
3rd and 6 as they hand it off this time to Miller, and Miller cuts back inside. He's going to have the 1st down as he gets up to the 45-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons, and there's the flag afterwards, a little extracurricular, and hopefully that's not one going to go against York. We've had a bunch of them last few weeks.
Yeah, this ball's inside the 45-yard line, and there's obviously some talking going on, and the referees had enough, and we'll see. Looks like this one is going to Livingston staying around the ball, and there's all the referees are huddled up now, so no real movement yet. I'm not sure what they're calling here.
And last week we had more flags than a Veterans Day parade. I didn't think that game was ever going to get over. We had 18 total, I think it was last week.
18 accepted penalties last week. That's a lot in a 48-minute football game.
And now they're coming over to talk. For York, they can't afford to have anybody else toss, folks. Ben Cooper not playing tonight because of that suspension due to being thrown out of the game, and we'll see what they call here. He's stepping the 50-yard line. And somebody, I believe, Gary's going to get tossed.
Well,
looks 55 coming out. That is
Landon Martin, senior.
And I'm just going to say this, Gary. You're a senior. You should know better than that.
Yes, you should, and that's going to be marked off 15 yards. Not sure what he done, but if he was ejected from the ball game, Gary, he threw a punch or something in there, and that caused him to get ejected. And it looks like, the way he's looking over here, his night's over.
Yeah, it looks like he's done for the night, and that also means he won't play next week, Gary, and that's a big game next week, the chance for the Dragons to still get in the playoffs. And I don't know, we're going to have to recruit some of the cheerleaders, some to play the rate we're going. We're not going to have enough players left to play the game.
Yeah, and Coach Wright runs, it was actually Kellen Buck. He ran in to take the place of Martin here. So York in a big 1st down here.
And now it's going to be breaking through and hitting the back Miller. Miller got the handoff, Gary, and that time big number 56, I believe it was, for Livingston, came in and made the tackle.
No, it's big number 68. That 68. Is Cole Sears again back there in the backfield, and they can't do do nothing with him, Gary. He's in the backfield on every single play right now, and you got to get him blocked. And another sack for Cole Sears.
He got in there early enough. He could have stole Miller's lunch money today. It's going to be 2nd and 15 now for the Dragons as they are backing up deep to their 35 now. And they'll hand it off this time to Gibson. Right side, Dax going to get some running room. He's going to get some of it back. Pushes it all the way out to the 45-yard line. That's going to make it a 3rd down and at least manageable.
Yeah, this will make it about 3rd and 5, Gary. A nice gain by Gibson there. Got about 9 yards. So they're officially calling it 3rd and 7. But, I believe that's right at midfield. The ball was just over the 50-yard line. So 3rd and 6 for York here. Another huge 3rd down for the Dragons.
So what the Dragons can do here as now got a man in motion. They'll hand it off, and that one's going nowhere. Gibson, and they faked it to Gibson, handed it off to Miller, and Gary Miller was hit right as he got the football. Lucky to even hang on to it.
Really, he was. There was contact made with him as he was getting the handoff, Gary, and real lucky to hang on to that one. And it moves it all the way back to the 41-yard line, which that'll be 4th down 9, and York sending the punt team out.
Was that Sears in on the tackle again?
I didn't see that. I wouldn't.
That was his side of the ball. I know he's been in. Well, he's actually been on York's side of the ball more than York's offense at this point. As now the snap back to Miller. He gets a good handle on this one. Gets his punt away. Going to be taken, and now making a couple of juke moves and moving to the left side. Now cutting back up the middle, headed over the right side. He's got some running room. He's headed down the sideline. One man to beat. Miller going to make a shot at him, but can't come up with him, and he steps out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. And Gary, that was just some heads-up, nice move as far as the return guy on that one.
That was a low-line drive kick to start with, Gary, and he had plenty of time, and actually he hesitated for a minute to allow the return to set up, to see where the blocking was going to be. Able to run that, up the middle of the field and then bounce it out to the right sideline here. Miller took a bad angle on him, probably had a chance to make the tackle, but took a bad angle. Lucky to be able to get enough of him that he stepped out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Raven Carpenter on the return, number 16, and we got a timeout called by Livingston Academy. Timeout, 7:19 left to go here in the first half, and it's all Livingston Academy, 21-0.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No.
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Huh. What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
Well, Gary, Livingston now pretty much dominating York in every aspect of the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, they've moved the ball, pretty much at will here in the early going, and had a short field to work with, 3 times now, and that was an outstanding punt return. I mean, most players would take that ball and run straight up the field. Carpenter sit there and waited for the action to come to him to where he could clearly pick his lane to run up, and he done an outstanding job of that and turned that all the way up the field up to the 7-yard line.
So it's 1st and goal for Livingston Academy at the 7-yard line of York as McDonald back in the pistol, surveying the sideline. He's got Robinson in the backfield. Snap, he'll hand it to Robinson. Robinson going to bounce outside into the end zone for a touchdown, Livingston Academy. Here's to you, Mr. Robinson, as he easily gets in again, Gary, and nobody even touched him.
No, he didn't. Ran that off the left side, and their offensive line stout on that left side, and that was Donnie Phillips, the center, actually pulling out there that kicked out Ricky Clark, kicked him inside, and he just ran right beside him into the end zone for the touchdown. And York, I'm sure they practiced against this pass all week long. This is horrible conditions, and they're running the football right now and running it at will.
Livingston usually a pass first, run second, but not tonight as they've been running the ball and running it well. And T. Beatty drills the extra point. We've got 7:13 left to go here in the first half, and right now the Livingston Academy Wildcats are ahead 28-0. Gibson's going to break free, and he's headed to pay dirt. Gibson all the way for a touchdown, Dragons.
Hello, everyone. This is John Robbins on behalf of State Representative John Mark Wendell, wishing the York Dragons many touchdowns and many wins during the football season. John Mark is happy to be a sponsor of the play-by-play broadcast and hopes that you enjoy each and every game. Again, on behalf of Representative John Mark Wendell, this is John Robbins saying, best of luck, Dragons.
Well, the Dragons, Gary, now find themselves down 28-0. They've had Martin ejected from the game, another player they don't have now, and I don't know if it could get much worse for the Dragons at this point.
Well, you know, it's 28-0. You got 7:13 to play in the first half. York has had a hard time moving the football on offense, Gary, you know, and got to try to get something going, get something different here, and see if you can sustain a drive a little bit. You know, they got a first down, got a 15-yard penalty, got back on Livingston's side of the field and couldn't get back across the midfield, Gary, and ended up having to punt, and then a great punt return, and they carry it into the end zone.
And now this one's going to be a low squibber, and he goes through the front man right to Hawks. Hawks going to come up the left side. Hawks got some run room, one man to beat, but now he's going to be hit from behind as he gets knocked down the 50-yard line. But a good return by Hawks, Gary, as the up man, it went between his legs and right to Hawks, and Hawks got a good return out of it.
Yeah, it did, Gary, and Hawks, because it did roll through, he had a chance to pick it up and look upfield and got a block out of Evan Tompkins, who that ball rolled between his legs, and was able to make a nice return out of that to midfield. And once again, York starting in great field position here. Let's see what they can do with it.
Just do not need penalties here. They got a big penalty in that last drive that really killed the drive, as up will come Strong under center. Strong's got man in motion, and Gibson, he drops the football, and it's still on the ground. Livingston Academy is going to fall on it on the 42-yard line. So, Gary, another miscue by the Dragons, and in a game like this, you got to hang on that football.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously because of a wet football, Gary. You know, he had turned and was, you know, they were bringing the end man around, and the ball just slipped out of his hands when he made the turn, and it's rolling out here actually right in front of us. And once he missed it, there wasn't nothing but white shirts there, and probably could have picked that up and carried it to the end zone, but doing what he was taught to fall on the ball there, so Livingston take over at the 43-yard line.
So a short field again for the Dragons as they're knocking on the door of the mercy rule here in the first half, as it's just been all Livingston Academy at this point. McDonald taking his time. McDonald will get the snap, hand it off, and here comes Robinson, or make that Neely. Neely going to get bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. Good D by the Dragons.
Yeah, nice job by York there. Evan Tompkins, there was Zach Strong, and you also had Edward Stockton, and had, I think it was Eli Kirby in there as well. No, it was Seth Helbig in there to make that tackle. So good pursuit by York to close up that running lane.
So they hold Neely to nothing, and it's going to be McDonald back in the pistol again. He's got Neely behind him. Neely hit immediately that time. He's got two to the left, one to the right, as he will get set to take the snap. He will take his time, get the snap, hand it off to Neely again. Neely right up the middle, and Neely gets about a yard before he's dropped down, Gary.
Yeah, we got about one that time, and, York doing a good job. The linebackers filling the gaps there and able to make that tackle, and that was Connor Warden on that tackle, and nice job by him.
Freshman's doing a good job here tonight, but right now York finds themselves in a very precarious situation. They got 5:49 to go in the first half and trail 28-0. And Gary, Livingston, one more score, and that second half the clock's going to run, and it's going to be very hard to get that many possessions.
Yeah, and this is the Livingston hadn't been in this shape too much tonight. This is an obvious passing down for them most of the time, Gary.
3rd and 9 now, dropping back to McDonald. He'll drop the little pass off to Neely. Neely's got some running room. Neely's going to push in. He's going to be real close to a first down if he doesn't have it, Gary.
It's going to be close. I thought he had it, Gary, but he may be a little short here. So it's going to be 4th and probably about a yard, looks like, from here. And this is inside the 35-yard line. You got to think that Livingston will go for this, but not the first down. It's actually about
a yard.
Yeah, they moved it back. It's over a yard. It's close to 2.
So now it's going to be 4th down, and Livingston Academy. Neely look a little bit shook up after that one. He got up holding his arm. I'm not sure he's going to stay in the game, but no, Livingston, I think, going to take a timeout to talk about it. So an LA timeout, and we've got 4:57 to go here in the first half. It's 28-0 Livingston.
At Meta3 Pharmacy, managing your medications has never been easier. We're the first pharmacy in the Upper Cumberland to offer strip packaging for your medications. Our MedPack strip packaging organizes your meds in easy-to-open pouches organized by date and time you take your meds. It's simple, convenient, and certain. Let us take the worry out of your medications today. For more information, call 879-8133, or we invite you to come by and see our strip packaging machine today.
Gary, Livingston Academy taking the timeout. I think they thought it was a first down, and when they come to the line, they realized it was a 4th down, and they had to come up with a play quick, so they called timeout.
Yeah, they did, and they got a bad spot, but good break for York. This is every bit of a yard and a half, 2 yards, and the thing is they haven't had too much trouble until this drive getting a yard or 2, and they still have Neely in the game. I don't know where Robinson is. They may just be giving him a break, but it's 4th and 2 here.
4th and 2, and York could really use a stop here. And watch out for Robinson on the keeper. No, they're going to give it to Neely over the left side. He's going to have the first down easy, and now he cuts back inside. Still on his feet. He's going to rumble all the way up to about the 21-yard line. So, Gary, they needed 2 and got about 17.
Yeah, big run there. Actually got 14 on that one, and they ran it around the left end, Gary, and they were able to seal the corner, and he had plenty of room. The receiver kicked out the cornerback over there, and the line did their job to kick everybody back inside toward the middle of the field, and a huge running lane for Neely over there.
Livingston just outside the red zone now as they're at the 22-yard line. Back in the pistol goes McDonald. McDonald taking his time. He'd like to run this clock out before they put another scoring board. Now he's going to quick out over the left side, and that's going to be the reception by number 11.
That's Wesley Smith on the catch there, and only the 3rd or 4th pass attempt for them tonight. I believe it's just 3rd one, Gary, but that just a little swing pass down the sideline, good for about 5 yards.
Haven't watched him play on cable. I'm watching some of the replays. They throw the ball a lot, but here tonight they've just been able to run the ball. And, Gary, if it's effective, keep doing it.
Yeah, it is, and they're getting positive yardage, and they're sticking with it so far. And they got 2nd and 5 here, on the 15. York got to bow up and make a stop.
And here's a handoff to Robinson, and Robinson straight ahead. He's still on his feet, still pushing forward, and Gary, he pushes all the way down almost to the goal line.
He's about to the 2-yard line, Gary, and York, I'm not sure what happened there. They had him wrapped up, was trying to hang on to him, and nobody come to help finish that tackle, Gary, and he's able to get away and got about close to another 10 yards after that first contact happened, and it puts it at the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
1st and goal now for the Livingston Academy Wildcats on top, 28-0. We got 3:22 left to go in this quarter. And it will be in the pistol goes McDonald. McDonald gets the snap, hands off late, handoff that time almost in past the quarterback was
Robinson,
and he gets, I think, right to the goal line, Gary. He's not quite in yet.
They wanted it, but going to mark it just short, Gary, so it'll be 2nd and goal, right, and the ball can't be too far from the goal line.
That could have been costly for Livingston County. That was almost a miscue by McDonald and Robinson because he handed that off very late to Robinson.
Yeah, I think he had trouble with the snap, Gary, and had a hard time getting it out of his hands and kind of, messed up the timing of the play a little bit, but they did get the handoff, and Robinson, probably kept him out of the end zone, too.
So now back in the shotgun goes McDonald. Back in the pistol, takes the snap, hands it off to Robinson, and good penetration by the Dragons. They're going to stop him for about a yard loss. Good job by the Dragons.
Yeah, that was Zach Gibson who came in first, and then Ricky Clark come in and helped him clean it up. But, that's probably a loss of a couple there, Gary. So that's going to make it 3rd and goal now. And York bowing up on that play. A nice job by Gibson and Clark.
I'm imagining, though, Livingston would love to run this last minute and 59 out before they punch it in the end zone or try to punch it. The Dragons trying to stop them here, keep this at a 28-0 ball game. As it will be snapped back to McDonald. McDonald over to Robinson, and he's into the end zone, and he just stops right as he crosses the goal line, and it's a touchdown, Livingston Academy.
Yeah, and nobody signaled the touchdown.
I think the one official on the far side did, but he just
he half-hearted it if he did, and but
I think his arms are getting tired of it.
But he did. He stopped right at the end line there, and Livingston must be getting used to this no end zone celebration. That time they all just stopped and went about their business.
So they'll be Beatty in to kick the extra point. It's down, it's up. It is good. And with 1:36 left to go here in the first half, it's 35-0, Livingston Academy.
Like a great sports team needs a great captain to lead them, a county needs a great executive to move it forward. And Fentress County has it in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy believes in this county and its endless possibilities. So for great sports and a great county, be like County Executive Jimmy Johnson and back Fentress County all the way.
Well, we've got 1:36 left to go in the first half. Gary, it's 35-0. This is getting harder to watch than an episode of Kelly Clarkson's new talk show.
Well, York's had a couple of good kickoff returns the last 2 times they've received the ball, Gary, and just could not do anything with it. And you got a substantial drive. You got a minute 36 here, and 2-minute drills not really York's expertise, but you really got to try and make a play out of it here before halftime.
You'd like to have another one of those big kickoff returns, but the Dragons squandered a couple of them already.
Yeah, you got Hawks and Miller deep, and see where Beatty decides to kick this one.
So Beatty now will kick it away. It's 35-0 with 1:36. That means in the second half the clock will be continuous. If York can't do something here, and that one's going to scoop by Hawks and in the end zone, and the Dragons will get a touchback, Gary.
Yeah, and that ball just kept rolling right by Hawks, who couldn't get to it into the end zone. And so York going to take over at the 20-yard line, minute 36 to go.
So the Dragons got 1:36, 96 ticks left to go here in the first half, and they trail it 35-0. Now, Gary, like we said, the thing about it is Livingston will get the ball to start the second half, up 35-0. If York can't do something, that continuous running clock in the second half will not give them very many possessions.
No, it won't, and that makes the game go a whole lot faster too. And York got to try to get something going here. Last minute and a half.
So here we go. Dragons under center goes Strong again. Strong still at the quarterback position. Got a man in motion. He's going to hand it off over the left side to Miller. And Gary Miller, or no, that's Barger this time. And Barger doesn't get anything.
No, actually probably lost a yard on that one, Gary. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 19. And no running room, especially around that right side. And, Livingston's defensive line has really won the line of scrimmage tonight, especially when, on first down. New York has got absolutely nothing on first down tonight.
So we go under a minute left to go here in the first half, and under center goes Strong, and now Livingston may have, they said they didn't come across the line, so they held up. They're going to drop it off inside and straight ahead goes the fullback, and not much room there, Gary. Not much sledding in that line of humanity there.
No, he managed to get about 4 yards, though, and
it's Kirby. It's Connor Warden, the freshman again.
Was that
yeah, 36, Connor Warden.
Actually, you had Alex Crownover blocking for him. I couldn't tell which one it was there for a minute. And they actually, it looked like he got out to about the 23-yard line. They marked it all the way back to the 20. So,
so he only got about a yard on it.
He got a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 10. And the clock ran down to 14 seconds. Gary York going to probably take this one to the locker room.
And it's got a halftime score from down at Red Bull and Springs. It is a 13-13 tie. Pickett and Red Bull at the quarter. Now Gibson over the right side. And Gibson going to get about maybe 3 or 4 yards, Gary. And that's going to be halftime of this one, I believe, as we're headed to the half. And now they're a little bit of extracurricular activity. And York can ill afford to do anything and get anybody else ejected.
No, and also at halftime, it's Clay County 6, Monterey nothing. So, a couple of big games in the area.
Okay, I should say now it's 14-13, Red Bull and Springs at halftime over the Pickett County Bobcats. We're at halftime of this one. It's all L.A. at this one as they lead it by a score of 35-0. We'll be back in a few minutes with some first half stats and the old Ben Franklin halftime stats coming up.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
And back here where they're honoring the Pee Wee football team, they went 10-0 this season, won their Super Bowl game down in White County. They got to call that ball game, folks. These youngsters, you talk about heart. These kids play with heart, Gary.
Yeah, they do, and well coached, and they execute, and eventually they'll grow into be Dragons one of these days.
And if York keeps getting kids ejected and hurt, we may have to have them come out before this season's over.
We've seen Ben Hall tonight. He's not much bigger than a couple of these kids.
And then also their senior Bulldog squad under the direction of Coach Andy Winningham, they won their Super Bowl the other day as well. They won the championship, the Middle Tennessee Youth Conference Championship. They went 8-2 on the season, but took that championship the other day 26-6. And these kids, some of these kids are going to be great football players, folks. I've seen some big things coming out of these youngsters the other day when I got to call that ball game.
And a good job by them as well. The youth football has become very competitive, Gary, and to win your championship in your conference is a big deal. And congratulations to these two Ventures County teams.
And to go perfect as the Pee Wees did, a really big accomplishment. We say congratulations to those young men as they picked up a couple of championships last Saturday. We had videoed that for Twin Lakes. Hope you got a chance to see that. The senior Bulldogs, a name we're kind of used to in football last few years at quarterback for them was Headings. It was Josiah's younger brother, Nathaniel Headings. He had an outstanding game in that one.
Yeah, so, some of the lineage coming up be, coming into the Dragon program next year, the year after.
So we got a break in the action. It's time now for our Old Ben Franklin halftime stats. We'll be back to check them right after this from Old Ben Franklin over in Wartburg. Folks, Fords are cheaper in the country.
Hello, folks. This is Bruce Babb, GM Old Ben Franklin Ford in Wartburg, Tennessee. And as fall rise and the temperatures drop, so do the prices on our new Ford cars and trucks. We have F-150s with over $11,500 off, new expeditions and escapes with over $5,000 off. And if you're looking for the all-new 2020 Ford Explorer, we have 6 of them in stock and ready to go. We also have a great selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we'll find it for you. We have financing rates as low as 0%, and we have financing for all types of credit. We say yes when others say no. So come in and see just how easy it is to get a new or pre-owned Ford car or truck. Our customer satisfaction is in the top 2% of our dealer group. Come in and let us show you why. Fords are cheaper out in the country, so call us at 1-877-NEW-FORD or visit us online at www.obfford.com.
Back here at halftime, and Gary, it's time now for the OBM Franklin halftime stats. Take a look at the stats, and I think they will tell the story.
Yeah, very much one-sided. Of course, it's 35-0 at halftime, Livingston Academy. York in the first half, 2 first downs, 21 carries for 5 yards, Gary. You know, that's not going to get much done. 0 of 1 through the air, 22 total plays, only 5 total yards out of those. Livingston Academy, 5 first downs. They have 18 carries for 101 yards, 2 out of 4 through the air for 14 yards, 22 carry total plays, 115 yards. There only been 3 penalties in the game, all of them against York, though. 3 penalties for York, 37 yards. Individually for York, it's Zach Gibson, 3 carries, 15 yards. Ben Hall, 2 carries for 5 yards. Connor Warden, 2 carries for 4 yards, and Eli Kirby, 1 carry for 2 yards. Isaiah Strong, 0 of 1 through the air in the first half. For Livingston Academy, they're led in rushing by Caleb Robinson, 12 carries, 65 yards. Nate Neely, 4 carries, 24 yards. And Will McDonald, 2 carries for 12 yards. McDonald, 2 of 4 through the air for 14 yards. He completed 1 to Nate Neely for 8 yards. 1 to Wesley Smith for 6 yards, and we're at halftime. It's 35-0, and you know, Livingston total domination in the first half. Gary,
not only have they dominated as far as offense and defense, but their special teams come up with big plays. They York dropped a snap back to the punter Miller dropped it, and then he was stopped at the 3-yard line. Also, they had that big return by Carpenter. It's just been in every aspect of the game a Livingston night.
It has, and you look at their scoring drives. 6 plays, 39 yards. 4 plays, 24 yards. 2 plays, 1 yard. 1 play, 8 yards, and 9 plays, 43 yards. They have played the whole first half of this game on York's side of the field, and York tried to flip field position a couple of times, had a chance to do it, and penalty finished one of those, and then just couldn't move the ball on the other one, Gary. And,
actually, they turned the other one over. I think they had to fumble.
Turn it over. Yeah, that's when Strong fumbled it. So, and led to the last score of the half, actually. So, York just having a hard time doing anything right tonight in this first half, Gary.
So we're at halftime of this one. At the half here, it is 35-0 Livingston Academy. Down at Red Bull Springs at the half, it is Red Bull Springs on top of Pickett County 14-13. Pickett County needing to win tonight, a win down Red Bull Springs, and a win next week in Joe Burns, and they'd have a shot at the playoffs. So this was a big game down there for the Bobcats. They trail by 1 at the half here. It's Livingston Academy dominating York 35-0. We're going to take a break for some halftime break, and then we'll be back to start the second half in just a few minutes. We're halftime this one, Gary. It's 35-0, and like we said, Livingston gets the ball to start the second half, and it's running clock from here on out.
Yeah, it is, and York will have to kick us off to start the second half, so Livingston will have the ball, and that clock won't start but for timeout and change of possession, and it's going to make it go fast, Gary, and Livingston's shown they're plenty of depth at running the football tonight, too. So, York going to have to fill the running lanes and have to get them in, have to get them off the field here.
And if I'm correct, Gary, Livingston's defense has kept York from being, I think they got across the 50-yard line once.
They were across the 50-yard line just the one time, and that got nullified by the penalty. so they were briefly on the other side of the field. The second kickoff return was right at the 50-yard line, but that one went backwards. And, so York barely been into Livingston territory one time, and very briefly as the penalty, 15-yard penalty, nullified that.
So it's going to be York kicking off to start this second half, trailing 35-0. As we said, the thing about this, Gary, is the running clock. You're not going to get many possessions in a half.
No,
especially
you're not.
the way both teams are running it.
Absolutely, and Johan West's going to kick us off. It looks like it's Aubrey Hollers, and I didn't see maybe Robinson back there deep.
And it's going to be number 5 bringing it over the left side. He's got some run room. He's headed up the sideline, got some more room. He's finally going to be run out of bounds, and that, I believe, maybe was
Hollers. It was Aubrey Hollers on the return. Actually, he set up on the right side, Gary. Got the kickoff return, ran all the way around to the left side of the field before he got ran out of bounds, and they're going to mark that right at the 41-yard line. That's where Livingston will scrimmage from.
And another short field, Gary, as far as that goes. Another great field position for the Livingston Academy.
Yeah, it is, and they're already on the other side of the 40, and see what York can do. York got to try to stop them here.
So it will be back in the pistol, McDonald. He'll hand it off to Neely over the left side. Neely's going to get a couple of yards before he's dropped. Good D over there by the Dragons on the outside.
Yeah, that's going to be for about 2, Gary, so that'll move it
Gibson
out.
coming up on the stick.
Yeah, and good job by York to hold him up there. They have ran constantly over that left side tonight and had big holes to run through, but there's not much running there, and good job by Zach Gibson to close that one.
So now the Dragons the Cats have it at the 43-yard line, going to be second, and we see Strong coming out of the game. I don't know if Strong's shook up or what, but Strong has been at quarterback tonight, and they're bringing him over to the sideline. And look at him, he's hurt, and we'll see what if that affects him. And now this time Neely over the left side. Neely got some run room. Neely's going to bust it for a first down. Gary got about 10.
Actually, they're probably going to mark him short, Gary, depending on where the spot is. No, the spot's going to give him first down on the other side of the field.
Yeah, the guy on the other side of the field's got it about at the 40 or the 48-yard line. This guy's marking on the 50.
Yeah.
I hope they don't check this guy going home. If he can't walk a line straighter than that, he's really going to be in bad shape. There must be a penalty on the play, though, Gary.
I didn't see the flag, but there was one thrown, and it's going to be blocking the back against Livingston, so this will go backwards. And actually, I think the official on this side was marking where the penalty was, Gary, so he wasn't too blind. He just, I think the spot would have been a first down, but this is going to mark it back. It'll be 2nd and 13 from the 37.
So it will be McDonald in the pistol. Got 2 split out wide to the right, 1 to the left. And it looks like Robinson back in the backfield. Maybe still be Neely. Snap out. It's going to be a quick out this time. And he drops it, and he hit number 11 in stride, Gary, and that's the second one number 11's dropped tonight.
Yeah, that's Wesley Smith, and they run the little seam route, about a 8-yard and turn towards the hash seam route, and he had him, and he had running room, and Smith dropped it once again, maybe looking ahead before he caught the ball, Gary, and it'll be 3rd and 13 now, and York with a chance to get a stop here.
And that's something York has not got to stop. They're not going to stop tonight.
They haven't, and, they haven't had to punt the ball. And Livingston in 3rd and 13 here, lined up 3 wides.
So they'll take and McDonald in the pistol. McDonald takes the snap, drops back, looking. He's going to throw it out. Got a man wide open over there. He'll make a cut, makes a spin move, breaks away. He's got some running room up the left side. He's going to be tripped up and down at the 36-yard line. That's Smith, Gary. They went right back to him after he dropped the last one.
Obviously, he's their receiver target, and, made a great catch there. Just a little sideline pattern, a couple of yards short of the stick. Made a spin move to make the defender miss, turn that up the field all the way to the 35-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10, and they're back in York territory, Gary.
Back on this end of the field, Gary. We've seen most of the nights on York's end of the field, and this is no exception. As McDonald now back in the pistol, got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. And it looks like Neely in the backfield. We haven't seen Robinson here in this second half. As they're getting Neely some time in here now. And they'll hand it off to Neely over the left side. Neely's got some running room. He's going to pick up a big gainer, about 12 yards for another first down.
Yeah, and I've heard, the Livingston radio over here.
Well, they say he stepped out at 9 yards.
Yeah, so it's a little short of first down, but Neely hadn't played in 3 or 4 weeks, so they may be getting him back in, getting him ready for their playoff run here.
And, Gary, I don't know who they have next week, but they've got one more game left like we do, and it'll be, of course, York next week going to Cannon County in a game that will decide who gets a playoff berth.
Livingston has Macon County left.
So Macon County, the lone game for Livingston after tonight for an undefeated season, as they're going to hand off over right side this time to Neely again. Neely's going to have the first down and more. Gets up to about the 17-yard line. So Neely running hard, Gary.
He is. Over the right side this time, Connor Warden and the White Hawks on the tackle there, but not before it'll be another first down for the Wildcats.
Maybe they need to put Robinson back in. He's got 4 touchdowns on the night. He's touchdown goal so far.
Yeah, he is, and but they're riding Neely here. Neely carrying the load so far for them in the second half. York haven't found a way to stop him yet.
So up will come McDonald in the pistol, waiting on the snap. And the snap, he's going to hand it off to Neely again. Neely over the right side, tripped up this time. Good job that time by Gibson, and Gary Gibson is having to make a lot of tackles out here.
Yeah, they had him for a 2-yard loss in the backfield, though. They had Connor Warden, Caden Buck, and actually had number 20, which is Seth Helbig, all 3 back there, and they all 3 missed on him, Gary, and they had him for a couple of yard loss. Instead, he gets about 4 yards out of that.
And, Gary, we're down to 5.5 minutes. They've run almost a little over half this quarter off.
Yeah, they ran. It was over a minute before they ran the first play, though. So, it runs fast when it doesn't stop.
So now it's going to be back in the pistol goes McDonald. McDonald's got Neely behind him, and he'll hand it off to Neely. Neely going to try to skirt the right side, got some room. He runs into a couple of Dragons, though, gets shoved out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Actually, that's
about
the 11, 12. Really no gain on that one, Gary. So it'll be third down again. York with a chance to hold them, maybe.
Looks like they're going to we're going to say he got a couple of yards. So they moved the yard marker about 1.5 yards or so. So it's going to be third, but this is 4-down territory, for Livingston Academy, unless they might try the kick in this rain.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an outstanding field goal kicker, and, maybe try to field goal, not to try to run the score up here. But, even if you go toward on 4th down, York's responsibility to stop them.
So up will come McDonald. He's got Neely in the backfield. Hands it off Neely. Neely goes straight ahead this time. He's going to be racked up as he gets right at the 10-yard line, Gary. He's going to be short of the first down. So that's going to bring up 4th and
5 from the 10. And that play, that snap bobbled, Gary, and that blew up the timing on that play, allowed York to come in and make the tackle, and they're lining up to go for this.
Yeah, it's either go for it or kick the field goal one, Gary, because right now it's you're really not going to punt at the 10-yard line. So.
No, you're not. And Neely's still in as the back. They got 3 wide. Smith, the big wide, he's out all the way to the left, Gary.
So now it's going to be 4th and about 4 for the Wildcats. They'll take the snap. McDonald drops back. He's throwing for the corner. Got a man out there, and he's got a touchdown. Wesley Smith, the easy touchdown. Gary Smith was wide open out there.
Yeah, he was. That was Miller on the coverage, and he just beat Miller to the back of the end zone. McDonald with a good throw, and right on the money, touchdown Livingston.
41-0 now as we have 3:19 left to go here in the third quarter. This third quarter going pretty rapid, though, folks. So the one thing about it is a lot of these fans will be able to get out of the rain early.
Yeah, the rain has not let up. I mean, it's raining a steady rain.
And this kick is no good as Beatty hooks this one. It's going to be 3:19 left to go in this one. 41-0. Livingston Academy in the third.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435. A proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Back here, Gary, and we just found out during the break that T-Bay, that's his first miss of the year.
Yeah, he's been perfect on the year on extra points till that one, and hooked that one. That may haunt him, Gary. He's made it. He made 8.5 games without missing one. So, but because of that running clock, that was almost a 9-minute drive from the Wildcats, to get in the end zone, Gary.
And maybe that Beatty's legs is tired. He's doing a lot of kicking now. He's kicked a lot of extra points, and now he kicks one in the end zone on the kickoff. So it's going to be a touchback for the Dragons, and he'll come out to the 20-yard line. And, Gary, York just needs to get some kind of momentum going. They need to get something going offensively because they got a huge game coming up next week. I mean, it's do or die if you're going to have any extra season after this next week.
Yeah, it is, and I noticed that Barger is going to take over at quarterback, Gary. Isaiah Strong, I kind of lost track of him, but he is not in the game right now.
Well, they brought him over here. The trainer was looking at him over here on the sideline. I'm not sure if he's still looking at him or not, but Barger's in at quarterback, and now Miller going to get out there late as Miller was a little bit late getting in with the play, and now Miller a little bit disoriented where he's supposed to be at. Now he's going to line up at the tight end spot. They're going to get a man in motion and hand it off over the right side, and that is Gibson. Gibson going to push ahead for a couple. Not much running room for the Dragons tonight, Gary. How many yards was it they had at the end of the half?
5. 21 carries, 5 yards in the first half. That one will get about 3, Gary, and trying to run wide over the right side there, and Livingston able to just string it out to the sideline, and actually it'll be a gain of 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line.
I'm not a mathematician, but 20 into 5, folks, that's just bad.
It's very fractional at this point, yeah.
Yeah, the per game carry, and now it's going to be a per carry average, and now it's going to be dropped back again, Gary, as that one's going to be wrapped up. Miller's wrapped up at almost the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Miller trying to run that one over the left side, and that's where Cole Sells lives, and he just kind of held up the blocker and wouldn't let him through, and they make the tackle be a no gain. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Connor Warden's going to come into the game now, the freshman in at fullback. York trailing 41-0, and now the snap rolling out is Barger, and Barger's getting chased. Barger gets away for a minute, but then he tries to dump it off. It's going to be incomplete, but he did have a man out there, and Barger got it off, Gary, but just barely, as one of the cats had a hold of that jersey and was slinging him down.
Yeah, under normal pretenses, that may have been intentional grounding, Gary, but surely they're not going to call that now, And,
well, he was out of the box, and Tolman was over here in the general vicinity, but
yeah, he was coming back to the ball, but I'm still that didn't get across the line of scrimmage, and depending on how close you think Tolman is to it, it could have been intentional grounding. That's just a call you don't make right now, and this quarter about the end.
Yeah, we're down to 21 seconds, and now almost blocked. The punt was almost blocked. That one's going to hit, and it's going to roll, and York will down it right at midfield, and I believe that'll be the last play of the quarter as we're headed to the final frame of this one. It's 41-0, Livingston Academy.
This is Jeannie Hall, inviting you to come check out our all-new Hall Sports and Outdoor store, now open in downtown Jamestown. At Hall Sports and Outdoors, we are your regional destination for everything you need for the woods and on the field. We have game day gear featuring your favorite local and regional teams, camping and hunting gear, and gifting ideas with popular brands like Costa, Timberland, Volunteer Traditions, and more. Hall Sports and Outdoors is located on the corner of South Main Street and Livingston Avenue, across from the courthouse. Stop by and see what everyone is cheering about at Hall Sports and Outdoors.
These two musicians play the same instrument. One is a rock. The other is more romantic. They may sound nothing alike, but they're in total harmony when it comes to breakfast at McDonald's. Whether you play hot licks or can't play a lick, together we breakfast. Choose a new Buttermilk Crispy Chicken McGriddles, Buttermilk Crispy Chicken Biscuit, or Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit, and get any two for $4. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
And we got a new quarterback in for Livingston Academy as they get the run up to the 50-yard line. That's going to be number 45 on the carry, Gary.
Yeah, that's Kyle Cornell, and on the carry gets a couple of yards out of that. Also have a new quarterback in the game, too, I believe, Gary.
I was trying to find his number 13 in the game. That is
Nathan Coggill, I guess.
Cowgill. Kogel. I'm glad we got somebody here from Livingston Academy who can tell me the right name. Kogel in at quarterback. Kogel will step up. He's got a one-man backfield. Kogel hands it off. Over the left side goes number 45 again. That's going to be another good carry, Gary. He's going to get up inside the 40 to about the 35.
Yeah, good running by Kyle Cornell there, and that'll be a first down Livingston Academy, and once again, they're playing on York's side of the field, Gary.
And Livingston, Gary, calling off the dogs here in this fourth quarter. They're putting in a lot of younger kids now.
Yeah, they are. A lot of clean shirts out there, and not that they've had to get too dirty tonight. They pretty much have stayed upright, and, they brought in all their reserves. Actually, Kogel is a freshman running the team at quarterback right now.
Takes snap, hands it off again to Cannell, and Cannell's over the left side. He's got some running room. He'll cut back inside, and he's going to be dropped down, looks all the way down inside the 20, Gary. I'm not sure exactly where he's got to.
Yeah, it's hard to tell on the other end of the field down there, but I believe he's inside the 20, Gary, and good running by Kyle Cornell there to pick up some positive yardage, actually down to the 15, and so it's first and 10, and they're knocking on the door again, Gary.
Their senior getting some time in. This youngster hadn't played until this moment, but looking pretty good right now as Cornell carrying the load. Kogel will set up, take the snap, hand it off to Cornell again. This time he's going to bounce to the right side. Good-looking move by Cornell. He drives down. He's going to be close to pay dirt there.
Actually,
he's going to be about the 5, I guess.
He's a little bit outside that. I think it's going to be second down, Gary. They're going to actually mark it all the way back at the 9-yard line.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be second and about a nickel for them. They can get a first down, though, without scoring.
Yeah, they can. Actually, it'll be second and 5 from the 9. They got to get to about the 4 to get the first down.
And Cornell getting the bulk of the carries now. He's got some good yardage in this drive. And he'll get the handoff again. This time he's going to bounce outside, and he's going to be dropped as the Dragons had a host of them in there, Gary.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them led by, I believe that was Caden Buck and also
Hayden Clark, number 50.
Hayden Clark in there. So, a couple of the younger kids for York coming in to make that tackle.
And the clock now just running down. We're down under 9 minutes to go in this one. Up will come Livingston Academy in command of this one, 41-0, and they got third and about 6 for the first down. As they'll get back to Cornell, and Cornell's hit this time and driven back. Good job that time by the Dragons.
Yeah, York adjusting here, Gary, and Nice tackle. That was Buck again in on the tackle, and leaves Zach Gibson there to provide some help. Maybe also Eli Kirby may be in on that one as well.
Loss of 5 on that one back to the original line of scrimmage. And, Gary, it's going to be 4th and 10. Livingston really can either go for it or kick the field goal, because at this point you're inside the red zone. You're not going to punt it.
No, you're not. 4th and 10 from the 12. York's going to try to keep them out of the end zone here.
Kogel drops back, throws it for the corner, got a man out there, and he comes back. He's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that was a real, kind of a lobbed up, but it was a back shoulder throw, and he about come back and was able to make a catch, Gary.
So that's going to be over on downs, and that's the first stop of the night for the Dragons, Gary.
It is, and Dragons going to take over here at the, actually they say the 15-yard line. So York will take over first down and 10, and Barger coming back out at quarterback. Noticed Ben Hall back in there fullback as well in the game.
Haven't seen Strong since he went out earlier, Gary, with that. He came out of the game while he's on defense, and haven't seen him since. I'm sure they're going to probably play on the bigger discretion of keeping him healthy than worrying about getting anything else tonight, because this one's pretty much out of reach, as Hall's going to get the handoff, and he's not going to get much at all.
No, he didn't. Maybe gets a yard. Actually, they may give him close to 2 on that one, Gary. Actually moving it out towards 3 yards. So good tough running by Ben Hall up the middle to get 2 or 3.
The freshman don't shy away from the hits as he gets up, gets a few yards. It's going to be 2nd and long. Dragons moving the football, but we are down under 6 minutes by the time this one gets in. We're halfway through the final quarter of this one, and it will be handed off, and there over the right side goes Gibson, and Gary, he was hit immediately.
Yeah, he leaned forward for about 2 or 3, Gary, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 5 from the 20-yard line. So York in 3rd down again here.
And with under 6 minutes to go in the ball game, you're going to fall to 2-7 on the season with one huge game coming up next week. We'll talk about that during the post-game show, but right now it's going to be under center goes Barger. Barger takes the snap, and Barger going to keep it himself. Barger over the right side, breaks the tackle, still on his feet, up to the 40. Barger still on his feet, and going to be run down from behind, but I believe we got a flag on the play.
Yeah, the referee threw a flag in the direction of Ricky Clark. He was tangled up with number 35.
No, they're going to wave it off, Gary.
Well, that'll be good then that they're waving it off. He was tangled up with Thomas Pennycuff, and they threw the flag right at him, but picked it up, so it'll be first down Dragons, and they're almost across midfield.
We've almost got across midfield.
They're right on the 50, so York trying to get it over into Livingston territory.
And they're going to hand it off up the middle. They get into Livingston territory as they get about a yard on the carry.
That was even Evan Tompkins on the carry, getting about a yard out of that fullback position.
Tompkins gets 1, and we are actually into Overton County territory. This is the 2nd time, Gary, and the last time it was called back on a penalty.
Yeah, dead ball penalty after the play, and moved it out of Livingston territory. This one's going to stick, and it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 49. We're down to almost 4 minutes to play in the game, Gary.
You're definitely in trouble when your deepest penetration's the 49-yard line of the other team. And now the incomplete pass. He's trying to quick pass up the middle, Gary, and Barger had the pass online, but just too low for Miller to come up with.
Yeah, Miller ran a little quick slant play, towards the hash mark, and the throw just nowhere near him. Miller probably had a little bit of space that, one thing about Barger's not a tall kid, and that there wasn't a clear line of sight between him and Miller. Probably made that throw come up short.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Dragons, just inside the Livingston territory. Now dragging over the right side, Gibson. He's going to push all the way inside the 40 down to the 37, where he's brought down by big number 52 of Livingston Academy.
Yeah, that's
That is.
Donnie Phillips on the tackle, but good strong running by Gibson, and Gibson gets about 12 on that one, moves it down to the 37-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10.
But time's still ticking away, and Garrett, we got by the time this one's played out, we'll be under 3 minutes to go in the ball game.
York trying to get some points here before this one's over.
And I think we're going to have a timeout call. Timeout on the field with 3 minutes exactly left to go in this one. It is 41-0, Livingston.
Crisp air, cool breeze, fall leaves. All the things autumn brings. It also brings Carrier's Fall Cool Cash Rebate Promotion. Now until December 15th. Take advantage of discounts on select energy-efficient heating and air conditioning units. With financing options to fit any budget, you'll be ready to jump into fall and tackle any weather that comes your way. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Condition Heating and Cooling for your free estimate today.
Conditioned heating and cooling.
Well, Gary, this one got out of hand early, and it's not got any better for the Dragons. They've allowed only one score here in the second half, though.
Yeah, only the one score, and York trying to move us down the field to get into the end zone, Gary, to avert the shutout here. And right now, they're 1st and 10 at the 37. Got to move quickly, though. Only 3 minutes in a running clock.
So up will come Barger. Barger takes the snap. Barger going to go. He's going to take it on the right side. Run room gets hit, and he's going to be brought down at about the 30 or the 24-yard line, I guess, 25-yard line.
Yeah, nice run. That'll be a 1st down. So nice run by Barger there. Had Miller going with him around the end, and had him for a blocker. Used him, got a couple of yards out of it.
Well, Gary, York's already had a couple of shutouts pitched at them this year, and I don't know when the last time York's had 3 shutout games, so they really would love to score here, and they got 2:25 left to do it in.
Got to move quickly here. They're still running their normal offense. You gotta pick up the pace here a little if you're going to get in the end zone.
Barger going to head out to Miller over the left side. Miller's got some running room. He's headed to the outside, going to bounce it left side all the way down. He is in for a touchdown, Dragons.
Nice run, nice play. Just ran that off the left side. He bounced it off the tackle, Gary, and got some clear running and got into the end zone. And York on the scoreboard with 2:05 left to play.
And Gary, if they get the extra point here, it drops it under the penalty or the mercy rule, so they'll stop the clock for the last 2:05 as Johan West is going to kick it. But now York's got a new holder. Barger, the new holder. Holdren has been the holder all year long, but Holdren, he got a concussion last week, so he is out. And he is done. Now it's going to be a low snap, and that one's going to be off to the left. That one's going to be no good. As we have 2 minutes and a nickel left to go in this one. It's 41-6, Livingston.
Managing your medications has never been easier. With Meta3 Pharmacy's MedPack, your medications come organized by date and time, securely sealed in individual, easy open packages. So when it's time to take your next dose, you just tear the package off the roll and your pills are there. That's all there is to it. No bottles, no bother. For more information, call us at 879-8133.
Well, the Dragons, Gary, got the touchdown but couldn't get the extra point, so it stays a 35-point game. That means a running clock for this last 2:05, and the Dragons going to kick it off here. York needed that, Gary, even though Livingston had some of their younger kids in. You could tell by their clean jerseys. If you're watching the video, you can tell who's the young kids because they come in, they got clean jerseys.
Yeah, they do, and nice run by Miller. You need to end with something positive, and you really wanted to get Thomas back going. That's a good way to do it. 27-yard touchdown run, and York going to kick us off. 2:05 to go.
So York actually getting some positive yardage in this one, and now it's going to be a little squib kick over to the side, and it's going to be covered by Livingston Academy at about the 31-yard line. And Gary, Livingston pretty much could just about kneel this one out if they wanted to.
Well, yeah, take your time getting on the field. Clock's running away here. We're down to a minute 50 already, so
And Gary, if we learned anything after last night when Upperman edged Watertown, you can mess up on a kneel down. They fumble the ball on a kneel down.
yeah, they can, but they've got their reserves in. They're going to try to run this a couple of times, and York going to have to stop them a couple more times here.
And they'll hand it off over the left side. Some hard running straight ahead up to the 39-yard line goes Cornell, I believe that is.
Cornell, yeah, Cal Cornell on the carry, and good positive yardage for him. Got about 5 yards on that one, Gary.
And Gary, we mentioned that this is senior night for the Dragons. They've got several seniors on the roster, but most of those, a lot of those are out hurt.
Yeah, they are. Got several kids out, tonight, but several seniors on this team, and it's their last home game here at York.
And this time, York gets the rush in there, and Leveland, the back, was number 20 for the Dragons. That's Helbig. Helbig, Gary, got a wide open lane. Just came up and leveled the running back.
Yeah, he did. Got him in the backfield for about a 3 or 4 yard loss, Gary, and score of interest. Monterey and Clay County going to overtime, tied at 6.
So it's under 30 seconds. One last play in this one, and they'll hand it off to the little guy, and he's going to be tripped up right there, and that should do it. That should be your ball game right there, as I don't think they'll even run another play because we are down under 15 seconds left to go on this. I don't think Livingston even has to run one, do they, Gary?
No, they don't, and this will run out.
Well, actually, York is going to get the ball on the change possession. Well, they're not going to even run it either. It's going to be it. York's going to drop this one here tonight. York, your final was York 6, Livingston Academy 41. We'll be back in a few minutes for the Progressive post-game show.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No.
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Huh. What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
At Twin Lakes, they believe in innovation and moving our communities and schools forward with technology. They know the importance of community support, and that's why they're honored to sponsor community grants and scholarships, support the local elementary schools, build internship programs for graduating seniors, partner with the Foundation for Rural Service to provide youth tours to Washington, D.C., and much more. Twin Lakes is proud to live in and support our local community. For more information on Twin Lakes community programs, please visit www.twinlakes.net.
It's time now for York football trivia, brought to you by State Representative John Mark Wendell.
Who had the longest punt return in York history? And the answer is Adam Wood, 99 yards in 2000, and James Patton, 100 yards in 1977.
York football trivia, brought to you by State Representative John Mark Wendell.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And now over and over. It's First Volunteer for you.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435. A proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Like a great sports team needs a great captain to lead them, a county needs a great executive to move it forward, and Fentress County has it in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy believes in this county and its endless possibilities. So for great sports and a great county, be like County Executive Jimmy Johnson and back Fentress County all the way.
And back here where, Gary, just a tough night for the Dragons. They come up on the short end of a 41-0 score. Welcome to the Progressive Postgame Show. We see Coach Derwin Wright making his way up here. We'll talk to him in a moment. But, Gary, it's just one of those nights York couldn't get anything going.
No, they couldn't. It was a struggle the whole night, Gary. Livingston controlled both the lines of scrimmage, and York just couldn't get anything going. Got a couple of turnovers, made short field for Livingston, and rough night for the Dragons.
So we're going to take a quick time out for a word from Progressive Savings, and we'll be back to talk Coach Derwin Wright right after this.
It's football time on the mountain. At Progressive Savings Bank, we know running your small business is a lot like coaching a team. You call the plays that drive your business towards success, and we're your #1 fan. After all, you provide the products, the services, and jobs that keep our local economy moving forward. We partner with small businesses to help you reach your financial goals with free business checking and flexible financing to help operate and grow your business with the right financial equipment to keep you in the game. This is Mark Justice wishing our York Dragons a successful football season. We are proud once again to sponsor Dragon First Downs. Progressive Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back here on the Progressive Postgame Show, joining me, Coach Derwin Wright. And Coach, Livingston, I guess they were as good as advertised. We didn't, but our advertisement said they like to throw the ball a lot more.
Well, they did a good job. We talked about going out, the conditions, and that we had to win the turnover battle, and obviously we didn't. Their first score, they drove down the field, and their next two or three scores came off our next three scores came off our turnovers, and just disappointed in that. But I will say that our guys just kept fighting to the end. I'm glad of that. We had a good couple stands there, and second half is a 6-6 half, so that's something to be positive about. But we're just not getting it done up front, Gary, and and then when that happens, we're turning the ball over. And we've had to move so many guys, and I'm not making excuses, but with injuries, we've had to move so many guys. We've got guys that are still not sure what they're doing on some base plays, and and it's just been due to the injury. Aaron Talent was a huge leader in the offensive line, and losing him has been a tremendous blow to us. And then middle of the game, we lose Landon Martin, and we'll be losing him next week. We've asked our guys to be mature and make good decisions, and we've had 3 in 3 weeks. I've not had an ejection in my coaching career that I can remember, but I've had 3 this season. And you gotta know that people are going to do things, and they always get the guy that reacts to it. And it's called mental toughness. You just get in the huddle and get the next play, and find the guy's jersey. You get a chance to introduce yourself with a legal hit. You do, but. We got to make better decisions on the field.
Coach, it was on every aspect of the game. Your special teams had trouble, your defense had trouble, and your offense, I think, had 5 yards in the first half.
Well, we just not executing. Yeah, I mean it's sloppy conditions, but we got a first down or two and then fumbled, and then we come back the next series, and I think the second play we fumbled. We're just we're not executing, and we let her get. To me, I think we make that mistake, and then we think, oh well, here we go, we're gonna make another one, and we've got to get over that. But again, I want to say the second half they come out and they fought and played hard, and and this group has had as many bad breaks as any team I've had in a long time, with injuries and ejections and things that, and some of those they had control of, we had control of. Those guys have been put out, they've run for it. But it is a good LA team. We've beat them the last 3 years, and they come in motivated. They come in with 4 seniors on the offensive line and 4 on the defensive line, and those guys were like, it's our time, and they took it to us.
Yeah, Coach, they were in the backfield probably as much as your running backs. They seemed like as quick as you were handing off the ball, they were there waiting on you.
Well, our guards were missing their middle linebacker. We weren't doing our job. We had a head down. They lined up with that one technique, and basically they were using that guy as a decoy and bringing that linebacker downhill as soon as when we made motion, they were coming, and we just didn't get him picked up, and finally come out in the second half and picked him up a few times. But, at that point, we were just so far behind.
Coach, you only got into their end of the field twice. Once was called back on a penalty. It seems like if it's not a miscue or something, it's a penalty. That one time you had it was a great return and then had a great play and is pulled right back.
Right. Yep. And I remember the series you're talking about had a great return. Almost broke it. One guy to beat, and their guy set a good angle and got us, and then come back with about a 10 or 11 yard play off of it, and then bam, penalty backed up, and we're just doing too many things to beat ourselves, Gary.
Coach, the one thing tonight was senior night, and you got a lot of good seniors playing their last night here at York.
Yeah, and the good thing tonight, we were able to get all those guys in and get them a chance to play, and that's always good. But it's obvious that our 2 wins this year have been on the road, and our last game's on the road, so it's just it's hard to go through a season and not get a win at home, and we've had some hard-fought games when we had most of our guys, and we had a Smith County game. It was a very, very tight game going in the fourth quarter, and we made mistakes and gave them 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And then, a Sparta team up here that we go in the fourth quarter with the lead and just don't finish the game out. But a few injuries, and you work too deep. But when you're working too deep, you don't give that other guy enough reps, or you just seem to don't have time to, and it's beating us tonight. Two of their touchdowns was where we lost containment, and it's basically where we've got a young guy in there that's just still trying to figure out exactly what his job is, and we're telling him don't let that tight end reach you, and here he comes shooting inside, and I'm like, oh my goodness, bam, bounce out, and so we're not being fundamentally and we're not being defensively sound either, and that comes to coaching, and I'll take responsibility for that.
Coach, you got to see some of the freshmen, though. Some of the freshmen come in, Connor Warden playing hard. You got to see Ben Hall. Ben Hall may not be the biggest dog in the fight, but he's probably got the biggest heart of a dog in the fight.
Well, those are freshmen that's played a lot for us. Ben Hall's been on special teams. He's a little guy, but he's going to give you all he's got, and he'll pop you. On that first trap we ran a 1X, and once he hit that hole, if he would have veered it to the left, had his eyes up, he would have had a big gain on that one. He ended up getting about 3 yards off of it. But Eli Kirby's playing great for us, a linebacker. Freshman. Our one of our freshmen that was being a standout for us broke the collarbone a couple of weeks ago with Caden Stover, and we've got a good group of freshmen, and like you said, they're playing hard for us.
Coach, it comes down to one game. You got Cannon County next week at Cannon County. Winner gets that number 4 spot in the district or in the playoffs. So if you wanted your season to go past next week, you got to win.
Well, the thing about it is, I don't agree with TSSAA on this playoff deal, and never had. I remember, and you'll remember, years back we had an 8-2 team that, probably one of the top 10 in the state, in my opinion, and because they took the top 2, our 2 losses happened to be in the district, and so anyway, we play a bowl game against a Sequatchie team that was in the same boat we were, and we just laid one on them, buddy. Had another year we went 7-3 and didn't make the playoffs, and then they went to this 4-team deal, and I don't know if it's the right thing. I think a team that makes the playoffs ought to be at least 5-5 or have a winning record. And I'm not saying that we're going down to Cannon County to get this 3rd win and get our season turned around and make the playoffs, but I still not sure that they're doing the right thing. It's like in 6A football, all 32 of those teams make the playoffs. You can be 0-10 and make the playoffs. To me, when you go to that next level, it's got to say something. But having said that, rewind right here. One of the farthest teams, York was 6-4, went to 4th round. Coach Dickie Brown was the head coach, and got on a hot streak. Livingston, who we played tonight, they finished their regular season 5-5 in this new deal, and went on 10-5 and won a state championship. So, you know, that's the other side of that coin. So, you know, we could get well and get hot and do some things, but you know, we've got to get well and get hot. And a lot of these kids that have been big contributors are out for the rest of the season. You know, we got Aaron Talent that's had knee surgery, Nathaniel Castellone, who had the lacerated spleen. He's out. He wouldn't be back, and he won't be back until next year. Caden Stover with a collarbone, he's not going to be back till next year. You know, and those are three of our really good athletes for us that are out. But the kids that are coming in, they're getting better. They're fighting, and you know, like I said, let's look at the positive. We tied them in the second half.
Coach, if there's one saying that is right now, there's an old saying that can't win it if you ain't in it. So if you can beat Cannon County, you'll be in it.
Yep.
So you still
That's exactly right.
As long as it's tomorrow.
And you know, when you finish that game, that team that moves on, they start a whole new season, and it's a survive and move on. You know, taken from the tournament, NCAA tournament, it's survive and move on. You know. I've seen that number 4. I've seen that number 4 team go on and win a state championship, and that was Livingston years ago. Matt Eldridge was head coach, and did a great job with that team. But you can get hot at the right time. So that's the other side of that.
Coach, what do you know about Cannon County?
Well, they're typical Cannon County, very athletic, a lot of speed. Pretty solid football team. They tend to do a little bit of what we do. They tend to beat themselves. They were playing Smith County just like we were, playing a great game with them, and then made a couple turnovers. Upperman game, they were moving the ball on Upperman, and next thing you know, they're down about the 8-yard line, turn the ball over, Upperman Scoop scores. You know, they're doing things like we are. Just misexecute, misplays, but either team puts it together could be dangerous.
And Coach, of course, it's at their place.
Yeah, it's a long travel, and that's obviously. But again, let's talk. What's our 2 wins this year? You know, probably our longest trip of the year, Grundy County was a win for us, and probably one of the best games we played. We were 100% there, pretty solid. But since then we've just seemed to have the injury bug. But again, I think the kids that we got on the field, if we can put it all together and just get a little bit better in execution, and we got to do a better job up front. We're not getting there blocking.
And, Coach, one thing, too, about it, if a win next week gives you an extra week of play, and anytime you got a bunch of younger kids, an extra week of play is something to build on.
It is. It's vital. It gives them an extra week to be out there on that field, and instead of being in a 21-day dead period. So, and we've got a lot of young kids contributing, playing well for us, and and that number just keeps growing. Of kids. You take. Dalton, he's a sophomore, and when you got 14, 15-year-olds going over against 17, 18, 19-year-old senior-laden team, you're asking a lot out of them, and it's just fact of the matter what it is. Right now defensively, I know that we've got 2 seniors starting on the defense. I mean, 2 seniors, and 3 on the offensive side of the ball. So, but having said that, we can play a lot better than what we did tonight. Those turnovers are just inexcusable. I don't care if it's muddy and wet. We got to take care of the football.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us, and looking forward to traveling with you next week to Cannon County.
Thank you, Gary.
And that was Coach Derwin Wright, whose boys came up just short tonight by a final of 41-6. We're going to take our final break, and we'll be back with a look at the stats right after this.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
And back here at York Institute, where the Dragons drop the game here tonight by a final of 41-6. Gary, give us some stats from this one.
Okay, Gary. Well, you mentioned it. It is 41-6 was the final score in the game. York had 6 first downs, all those by way of rushing. Got a few yards in that fourth quarter, Gary. They had 7 rushing yards going into the fourth quarter. End up the game 30 carries, 92 yards, 3.1 yards per carry, and the 1 rushing touchdown. Through the air, they were 0 of 3, so total offensive yards, 92 on the night. Only 33 offensive plays. That's tough sledding on a night like this. And for Livingston Academy, they had 10 first downs, 8 rushing, 2 passing. They ran the ball 34 times, 169 yards, 5 yards to carry, 5 rushing touchdowns, 4 of 8 through the air for 52 yards. And they had, they only had 221 total yards themselves, Gary, which is probably about half of what they've been averaging. So, not a big offensive output for them either, but when you play the whole game on York's side of the field,
I started to say they had a short field all night.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And, of course, York turned it over 3 times in the game, lost all, 3 fumbles, lost all 3 of those. Penalty-wise, only 4 penalties in the game. York 3 for 37, Livingston 1 for 10. Individually for York, they were leading rushing by Dalton Barger, 5 carries, 40 yards. Zach Gibson, 6 for 32. Thomas Miller, 10 for 16 in the 25-yard touchdown run. Ben Hall, 3 for 7. Connor Warden, 2 for 4. Eli Kirby, 1 carry, 2 yards. And Evan Tompkins, 1 carry for 1 yard. Isaiah Strong, 2 carries for -10. Through the air, it was Dalton Barger 0 for 2, Isaiah Strong 0 for 1, 0 for 3 as a team through the air. For Livingston Academy, they were led in rushing by Caleb Neely, and he got everything the first half, Gary. 12 carries, 65 yards, 4 touchdowns. Nate Neely, 11 carries, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Kyle Cornell, 7 carries, 40 yards. Will McDonald, 2 for 12. Trevor Brown, 1 carry for -2. Through the air, it was Will McDonald, 4 out of 7 for 52 yards and the 1 touchdown. And Nathan Cowgill, 0 for 1. Receiving, it was Wesley Smith, 3 catches, 44 yards and a touchdown. Nate Neely, 1 catch for 8 yards. The scoring recap. In the first quarter, 6:52 to go. Nate Neely, a 9-yard run. T. Beatty with the kick. 6 plays, 39 yards, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. It was 7-0. 1:19 in the first quarter. It was Caleb Robinson, his first of 4 on the night from 23 yards out. T. Beatty with the kick. 4 plays, 24 yards, a minute 54. It was 14-0. 11:32 to go in the first half. It was Caleb Robinson from 1 yard out. The Beatty kick was good. 2 plays, 1 yard, 13 seconds, 21-0. Robinson with 7:13 to go in the half from 8 yards out. And Beatty with the kick. 1 play, 8 yards, 6 seconds. It was 28-0. 1:36 to go in the first half. It was Robinson again from 1 yard out. Beatty with the kick. 9 plays, 43 yards, 5 minutes, 23 seconds. It was 35-0. In the third quarter, 3:19 to go, Wesley Smith, a 10-yard pass from Will McDonald. Beatty missed the kick. 10 plays, 60 yards, 8 minutes, 31 seconds. It was 41-0. New York finally gets on the board, 2:05 to go in the game. Thomas Miller with a 25-yard run. Johan West missed the kick, 8 plays, 85 yards, 5 minutes, 25 seconds, and that was the final score, 41-6.
And Gary, at most of York's yardage, we mentioned what yardage York did have coming that final drive.
It did, 85 yards. They had 92 on the game. 85 of them came on that last drive.